Antonio Bindras has said that the expectation is mother of all frustration, and he's very precise in his observation. The root cause of our unhappiness is that we have set too many expectations in our life. And if you carefully look at the whole structure of society, you will find that this is what everyone is doing. We are either fulfilling someone else's expectations or we are expecting things from others, and both ways we actually suffer. I will explain you how. So first, let's try to understand what's the correlation between happiness and expectations. Firstly, I want you to try and remember the times in your life when you were really happy, really satisfied. You will find a very common trend in those moments. In the moments when you were really happy or satisfied, life was happening according to your expectations or above your expectations. It rarely happened below your expectations. So this is the correlation between the happiness and expectations, that whenever life happens according to your expectations or above your expectations, you are happy. But the moment it slips below your expectations, you become unhappy in your life. Let's try to understand this thing through an example. Let's say that you invest in a particular stock and you're expecting some sort of a return out of that investment. You expect that you're going to get 10% return out of it. If you're going to get 10%, you will be happy. If you're going to get 12%, you will be happier. But the moment the investment return slips below 10%, you will become a little sad. So this is what we are doing in our life. We are setting too many expectations in our life, and the irony is that the majority of the times, life does not happen according to our expectations or above our expectations. 80% of the times, life is happening below our expectations. That's the reason why we simply drag ourselves in our daily life. We live with so many frustrations. We live with so many anxieties. So this has to be understood, that if you want to live a happy life, you will have to drop these expectations from your life. And primarily when it comes to human connections, you have to make sure that you do not set any expectations. We can deal with anything in life. If the food is not according to our expectations, we can deal with it. If we are not earning money according to our expectations, we can deal with it. But when it comes to human emotions, when it comes to human passions, then we suffer immensely if the other person, our loved one, does not act according to our expectations. And this is how the whole world is suffering. Firstly, the ugly thing is that it has become a norm to expect things from other or to fulfill other people's expectations. Parents are trying to expect things from their children. Children are trying to fulfill the expectations of their parents. Lovers are expecting from each other. Lovers are trying to fulfill each other's expectations. So one is exploiting, the other is getting exploited, and it is a very ugly state. This neurosis has to be dropped. You have to understand that when you force your expectations on any other person, you are acting in a very dictatorial way. The thing is that you have a fantasy world and you have certain expectations from everyone, from your lovers, from your parents, from your children, from your friends, from your colleagues, everyone. And if they fit into those expectations of the fantasy worlds, you are fine with them. You are happy. But the moment someone does not act according to your expectations, you say that something is really wrong with you. Something has gone weird with you. Firstly, it's about the other person, that you are doing something wrong. And later on, it becomes about you. You start saying this thing that I'm suffering, I'm so unhappy, I'm so miserable in my life because of you. This is the most common thing that lovers say to each other, that parents say to their children, that children say to their parents, that I'm unhappy in my life because of you. So no one is suffering in their life because of other people. The point I'm trying to make is that you are creating your own suffering in life because you are setting too many expectations. So the expectations are the recipe for a miserable life. Now coming to the expectations that other people have from you, expectations that you're constantly trying to fulfill, let me tell you this thing right away, that when you try to fulfill someone else's expectations, you are killing a part of you. And this is the most ugliest thing that you can do to yourself. We live in a society where beautiful mechanism has been made that you have to sacrifice your potential for your parents, for your lovers. And this is a very ugly way to exist. Do not do that, and realize this thing, that you can never fulfill anyone's expectations. Expectations are like weed. Today you fulfill some expectations, tomorrow new expectations will arise, and more expectations. Even a Buddha could not fulfill the expectations of his father, his wife, so who are you and me? When he got back to his home after 6 years, his father said that I am so sad because of you. His wife said that you have made my life so miserable. What's wrong with you? A man who transformed the lives of millions of people, and to this day people are getting transformed through his teaching, could not really satisfy his father and his wife's expectations. So make sure that you do not expect anything from others in life, neither allow anyone to expect things from you. This is the recipe for a happy life. And I will give you a very simple formula to work upon so that you can drop expectations in your life. Lao Tzu in Tao Te Ching has said that act without expectations. Remember these 3 words, imbibe these 3 words, act without expectations. When it comes to relationships, if you do something for your friend, never expect anything. If you do something for your lover, never expect anything. And never expect these people to be in a certain way. Always accept them rather than expecting things from them. You will find that by and by you are becoming happier in your life. Just practicing this motto, just living this motto is going to change your life.